Hi, Trish.
Can we just get right to the front? If you're watching this, you see Karen's fun shirt. I love everything about it. If you are hearing this, she is dressed like a chic tropical vacation, and I'm here for this vibe.
Well, a Ralph Lauren outlet. I
We
can't.
love an outlet mall and we love Ralph Lauren.
Yes, we do.
Of course, that's Ralph Lauren. It's elevated, it's chic, it's giving me tropical getaway. I'm here
Makes,
for it.
yeah, ready to go to the beach.
I am too. Listen, are you home for a minute? Because I know you and I have both been on the road for the last month like it was nobody's job. I mean, how are you home?
I'm home right now. I go back out on the 30th.
And then you and I both get a little downtime in June.
No, June's
Oh, I'm
very
sorry,
no,
July. I told a big fat
July.
lie.
Yes, July. May was my downtime. June is back crazy.
All around the world, and
Yeah,
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 which is a great problem to have.
it
Certainly not
is.
complaining. Yeah,
No,
this is just Karen and I get the privilege of doing this great show. What I know so far, which we love doing together, which we are going to bring you all more episodes,
yes,
because we will get more time together. That's coming up. We're wanting to go weekly, so y'all will get to hear more of these and with our guests. That's coming up. If you like our show, rate. I was going to say rescribe. How about you subscribe? Lord, subscribe, give us a review, share it with friends if you dig it. We're going to take on a topic today that what I know so far, I think we evolve on this every day, but it's really female friendships and women supporting women and what that looks like. And why we even have to have the conversation, which I think is such a cool thing to even be talking about, because not all women were raised to support other women, which is sad.
it is
But
very sad.
yeah, but we've done the time. So we know it's a win-win situation when you support another woman in all that they're doing. Even if they do the very exact same thing as you, you're not going to dull anybody's sparkle by supporting them.
No, no, there's room for everybody. And, you always say high tides raise all ships. And we've all gotten a bad rap about, cat fighting and that kind of thing. But I know so many women that cheer on other women, and that should be highlighted more than it is because, the media, everyone wants to put out front the relationships where, people, where women are combative. Not for men, they don't do that, but for
No,
women, they do.
that's so true. I mean, even if you think about it, Real Housewives, the entire franchise has been built off of, higher profile or financially well off women getting sideways in a ditch and then cussing each other at a dinner party. And you're like, okay, well, good on you. I mean, I'm sure there's some. I've never seen one. I've never seen one episode
Me
of
either.
any of the franchise. I have some lovely friends that are on some of those episodes, but I've never watched it. But I know that is obviously the backbone of what it is, and it's a bummer because a lot of these women are epic women that you'd love to just see like their successes more than the drama rama. But it's what it is. They should
But
really.
the sad thing is there's an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, you're exactly right, Karen. It's the bummer is that people are like, "Yeah, let's watch them fight." And okay, good. But I'm always for who cheers each other on. And I think really good friendship in general is great for your mental health. Male, female, but really female friendships, because we function at, I think, a little more of a higher emotional quotient than male female relationships do. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that. I have zero science behind that. I'm just telling you my own life.
Right. And I think women, I think again, no science behind this, but I have read that men turn to women for friendship and women turn to women for friendship because you can be vulnerable with women more than you can be with men.
That's so true. And I think men are getting smarter about it, as that I don't want to say the culture, but that life is starting to allow men to have a bigger emotional quotient. I'm lucky I have a husband with a much bigger emotional EQ than maybe my last one. The current one's got a higher one. But our female friendships, I think, are so incredibly important because we are taught It's at some level, even if you think back to like the evil stepsisters and Cinderella, like even in our fairy tales by Disney, we're taught that like, hey, this catty heifer is trying to take you down and make you look crazy. And you're like, oh, okay, that's normal. Like that's shown. And you're like, wait a
Yeah, it's
second.
normalized, and
Yes.
you grow up believing that that's how it is, and it's really not.
Yes.
When I watching the Grammys, I saw a clip of uh, Miley Cyrus singing. Tell me the song.
The new
I,
one,
yeah, I know.
Flowers.
I can buy me flowers. Yeah, I
Great
can buy
song.
myself flowers. Great song. And she was singing it. In the middle of her singing it, she said, "I just won my first Grammy."
Yes.
And Taylor Swift was standing up cheering louder than anybody. And I love that
Yes.
she was cheering on her friend and,
Yes.
as loud as, that's how it should be.
There's room here. I think the hardest part for some people to wrap their brain around, and I don't know, that's each person's personal psychology, but I think a real hard thing for people to wrap their brain around is there's room for everybody. Like someone's success is not going to steal your thunder. I'm going to say that one more time for the folks in the back. Someone else's success is not going to steal your thunder. There's room. There's absolute room. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You never saw Dolly Parton and Loretta Lynn in a fist fight? No,
No.
because they do the exact same thing. They just do it their way, and there's room. And I think when you get to a place where you realize that you have to do it authentically. If you're faking it, going, I just want them to do really well, and then you're in the background like sticking pins in a voodoo doll, it's not real.
No.
So when you really want someone to thrive, there's something that elevates in you when it's honest. I truly feel.
I believe that too. And I believe that energy brings good to you, your support of others.
Mm-hmm. That's right there. That's right there.
Yep.
And I know that, Lena, I check in with Karen as much as I humanly can. I check in with my best friend Sabrina every day. I mean, I have a phone list in the morning, like a phone tree that I'm like, hey, you good? Like I'm just checking on you, checking on you. I just want everybody to know that I genuinely am checking on you. Not only just
Right.
your emotional health, which is part of your well-being, but everyone's mental health. And I always say, check on the people that don't seem like they need to be checked on. There are quite a few of those in my life that are high functioning, high profile friends that have jobs that people think they're successful. And I just shoot them a text and go, hey, I just want to know I'm thinking about you, or how you doing? How's your heart? And I'll get back a small, paragraph that I love, that someone needed to just talk, or can you call real quick, or I'll get a voice, memo real quick. And I'm like, I I think there's a level of care that we forget in this day and age of being connected, that we're not really connected, but we think we're connected,
Right.
of checking on each other. And there's something really powerful in that.
I agree. And, it's like, with Leanne Morgan, we, a dear friend to both of us,
Yes.
and we could, call her for anything. And she has really blown up, elevated beyond, way beyond where I am. And I'm out with her, opening for her. And there was a time when she has opened for me before.
Yeah.
And, but I am so thrilled for her success.
Yes.
And I've had people say to me, does that make you feel bad? And I'm like, no, it doesn't make me
Never.
feel bad. I mean, I am so thrilled for her success. I mean that as sincerely as I can mean it. And not only that, with her success, she has made women over 50 looked at.
Visible.
Yes,
Visible.
visible.
Visible. Visible. And I think that's another thing. This is what I find interesting in you saying that, because I've had it said to me too. And I think, well, first of all, I don't do what Leanne does. And what a lot of people think, well, you're a comedian. Like people just look at it in exactly what you do. And I'm like, yeah, but we've all worked. Like I know how hard she's worked. I know how hard you have worked. I know how hard I
Hard,
have
yes.
worked. And so you look at everybody and you always, everyone will get their turn. Everyone. If you don't believe that in your gut, you will not get your turn. That's what I truly believe in this life. You will get your turn. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. It's going to show up for you. And Leanne, 110%, has earned her turn. If you ask Lynn, she'll always say it was God thing. She didn't do a dang thing. But she has, we will joke all the time because just so y'all know, we're giving this example of Lynn because when you look at three women that have done a lot of life together, it's the three of us. And we would be at shows and everyone has their gift set, right? Everyone does. I am a logistics nerd. I'll make sure that the lighting cues are there, the sound cues are there, the pre-show, post-show music is there. I'll go hug the neck of the, sound guy who's been at that venue since Christ was a child, and we'll have a conversation of what we need and lighting. Karen will deal with all the money, the contracts, the making sure everything gets handled, what time doors, all the things we need to know. Leanne will make sure that every single person working that venue who's going to tell them about a goiter that their son got held up at a Domino's Pizza, Leanne will listen to every single story. Has she not?
Yeah.
And not only will she listen, she listens authentically. She remembers. She will hug a neck. She means it with her whole heart. And not that we don't, but we're over there making sure that the microphone is connected and that we know when to be there. And so we've done so much life, the three of us, knowing where everyone's strong suit lies. You know that no one's more or less deserving. You just know that everybody cheers for each other because everybody's got their way. They do what they do.
Right.
And Leanne's amazing and has done it, worked her butt off.
And she's gifted. I mean, she's just gifted.
Look, it's literally, I mean, I can't tell you how many times the three of us have stood backstage, looked at each other and went, "What's my act?"
We still do it.
What's my set? We still do it. I mean, I've always joked forever that if one of the three of us stroked out, one of the other three could step up and just go, "Don't worry, I got you, girl. We'll get you back." Like, I'll finish. Because there's a level of care. It's not like, well, too bad something happened to her. It's a level of care that I think experience is your best teacher. And we're not taught it when we're younger in female friendships. There is that weird pit people against each other. And y'all, it's exhausting. I'll promise you, spoiler alert, it don't work. It don't work. So
I saw Adele giving a speech for, she was a recipient of a summer award. I don't know which one it was off the top of my head, but anyway, she was talking about all the women who came before her and said, not only open the door, they held it open for me. And that is how it should be.
It's 100%. There is so much to be said about, and again, I've always tried to be that person. I'm certainly not selling out arenas. That would be fun. But as far as comedy goes, all the girls, and I'll say girls because we were all little bitty when we started. And I was very protective, and I always have been, of comics that came up under me because there's so many just great comics. And if a woman was remotely attractive and funny and nice, people are like, they don't know what they're doing. They're not. And I was like, that's not true. Just because someone happens to be attractive does not mean that they suddenly can't be a comedian. Like all comedians are suddenly there's a prerequisite to look like Helga the Bridge Troll. Knock it off. First of all,
right.
Shut up. I used to think that was insane. And to be kind to each other at shows, post shows, not feel like very rarely you're the only woman on a bill. Rarely you can be on a show with a bunch of other women. That's what made touring with you and Karen so fabulous, was what a joy to get to tour with all women. I mean, it's a dream sequence. So I also noticed that in comedy, especially, there was a lot of like, is that person stealing your thunder because it's the only other woman on a show? I'm like, do y'all feel that way about each other? And as soon as you said that to another male comic, they'd be like, I was like, what is happening? What are you having a moment? Like you're literally trying to pit me against another woman who's phenomenal. Like I'm not worried about it. She's great. She's going to go kill. I'm going to go kill. It's going to be a great night.
Right.
What?
And what a testament to your friendship to Eliza and the letter she sent you. And that, I thought that was so incredible.
Eliza Schlesinger is possibly one of the best comedians out there right now, as far as being prolific, constantly creating new material. I will be her champion till the wheels fall off because she's just brilliant. She's a great human. She fights for things that most people would shy away from. She's just a bad mamma jamma and then a great comedian. And oh, by the way, I'm going to birth a second child and then go on tour. I mean, and she did the last tour 8-9 months pregnant. I'm like, you're a unicorn. But that's like why every comic isn't out there giving those flowers out to other female like amazing. Like you should do that. But I've been her champion since, the jump. She was I guess a class behind me. I always say comedy, in the world of comedy specifically, we are a lot like high school. So it's freshmen through senior. So you kind of just know, because we've done the time, you know how long
Yeah.
people have been here. And I celebrate everybody. The guys too. Look, comedy's not a game for the weak. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Um, and people that really genuinely love it, and everybody does it different, and that's okay.
Right.
So there's something really to be said about cheering on those people. And Eliza has just been really, she's a class act. So she was kind enough to reach out to me and just say some really sweet things. And it meant the world to me, because she didn't know when she sent me that. I was in a place of like, I don't ever know if I want to do comedy ever again. And I thought, how did she know to send this right on time? But then God do it. So, yeah.
But it was about how you supported her when she was starting, and how you
Yes.
always cheered her on. And that's, particularly when someone sees someone coming up that's rising, they want to try to hold them down, not lift them up. So that's very cool.
No, I
And
would
very
do
cool
a
of her to acknowledge you for that.
Well, I'm grateful that she's that kind of human that would, and that's what I think is so special. Oh, there's a million things that are special about her, but I think that's what's so special about women supporting women, and strong women letting other strong women know, I got you. There's room for you. We need to create more of us.
Yes.
There needs to be a whole culture of the us's, because women don't need to feel like you're alone. It's already tough enough. I mean, my husband and I were just talking about the whole, rights on women's bodies and all the things. And I said, if this was a man's thing and we said, hey, listen, we're going to need y'all to have vasectomies until y'all have a FICO score that could support a child. I said, every man's doings would go up in his insides. They'd crawl. They'd be like, what are you talking about us like that? I said, yeah, it's a little sucky, isn't it? I said, but when you realize how insane women have to stay together to just want to survive as a species, I want that level of survival for all of us. I want us all to high tides raise all ships. There's a movie that Disney did that wasn't about a princess with hateful stepsisters. They did a movie called A Bug's Life. Did you ever see it, Karen?
I did not.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is one of the head ants. I enjoyed it. I think Kevin Spacey was one of the mean, hateful grasshoppers. I might be getting that wrong, but it all tracks. Anywho, and Dennis Leary was a ladybug. It's just a good movie. If y'all get a chance, watch A Bug's Life. But I say this to say, the point of The Bug's Life was there was more ants than there were the mean, hateful grasshoppers that ruled everything. And I feel like once we as a people realize there's so many women that are fantastic and amazing and magical, and if we all come together, there's a lot more of us than mean, hateful grasshoppers.
Yes.
So the good ones need to all be good and tend to each other. I feel like that's humanity as a whole, but specifically women friendships are the backbone, the backbone of what keeps everybody together.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I gave my mom a Mother's Day card, and it said things you ask mom, and it was like, can I stay up? Can I have more? Can I eat this? Will you read this to me? What time? All list of things that you ask mom, and then it said what things you ask dad. Where's mom?
Oh, if that ain't the truth. Oh, my Lord. That's so true, because women are just women really. And I was sitting here reading, I made a whole bunch of lists and notes for Kay and I to talk about, but women really are what keep everything going. Mother Nature. I mean, think about that. Mother Nature. She's Mother Nature for a reason, and Father Time. See what I'm saying? Mother Nature is what keeps evolution going and around. So I was thinking about your friendships and how they change over time. And some people are a season. Some people may have been friends you were friends with in childhood, but they didn't grow with you. And that's not a horrible thing. You're just, your life changes, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you dislike that person less, but people are for a season sometimes. And it's hard for people that, like myself, I'm a very painfully loyal person, to realize there are some friendships you outgrow, and there's some that you really take the time to nurture. And I'd sent Karen something that I saw Jane Fonda talk about, how hard it was to make friends over 60. And she was at an event and met Sally Field. And Sally Field's known for being pretty reclusive and not, being out. And Jane Fonda was like, I just want to be her friend. So I was like real intentional of wanting to be her friend. And Sally Field was like, I couldn't get away from her. Like,
I tried.
I tried and I couldn't get away from her. But I appreciated that Jane Fonda was saying, look, for me, I know when I meet good people, and Karen and I, you and I talk about this a lot. It's a vibrational thing. It's an energy thing. And you realize when someone's at the same energy level, and they really are, and it sounds so hippy dippy, but we all are made of energy. That's a fact. So when someone's at your frequency, you want more of that around you.
Sure.
And when you find those people, you need to nurture those situations, because you realize how rare it is, I think.
And you attract that energy, whatever your energy level is, whatever vibration you're putting out, you attract those people. And that's why you want good vibrations.
It is. It is. And let me ask you this. Are there people in your life that you maybe, outgrown sounds like, I don't want anybody to think there's a negative connotation to outgrown, but just meaning like a friendship has ran its season. Do you have people like that in your life that you're like, and how did you deal with it?
Well, I think the saying, people come into your life for a reason, a season, or for a lifetime. And I have friends that I don't see anymore, but still know they're there for a lifetime.
Yes.
And then there's some that just come and go, and I've had friends, when I was living in Atlanta, I needed to get back to Chattanooga really. And so a friendship kind of moved me to where I needed to be. And then that ended fairly quickly. But that's okay. It wasn't a bad friendship. It's just, we went our separate ways and still stayed in touch. And it was a good thing, but it got me somewhere I needed to be. And so, and my girlfriend that I grew up with, she had the best playhouse. Her dad was a mechanic, built her a dune buggy at 13 years old. We were out driving it in the field, had a ball together. And when I can remember when she was gone on vacation or something, for the first time we'd been separated, and we lived about 4 houses apart, and we came running to each other, open arms. And as soon as she got back, because we missed each other so much. And so I just text her because she had a birthday, and I might see her once a year, but she always texts me on my birthday. I always text her on her birthday or call, but we always remember each other, and because it was such an important friendship. And then
100%,
so there's friends that come and go. And then there's some, my one friend, oh my God, I say there's Jesus, and then there's Connie.
Oh
yeah. Because when I was in my car accident, she called and said, take care of yourself. I got your mama.
And
she went for 3 months to take care of my mom.
Oh, Connie, you angel from heaven.
And then, of course, Marsha, my lifelong friend, lives in Atlanta. I mean, she's helped me write so much material because she's so funny. And as always, just will stop what she's doing to help work on me, and wants nothing but my success. I mean, there's just...
That's the ride or dies, I think. And I always say too, a lot of people mistake ride or die with somebody that they've done a whole lot of life with. I feel like there's both versions, because my sweet Katie, who lives in Knoxville. Katie, there's a picture of me, my Katie. There's a picture of me holding her, y'all, when I had no business holding a baby. I'm a year old. Why'd they hand me an infant? Oh, the South in the 80s. They handed me Katie, and it's like 4 photos, you guys. And the best part is it's me realizing there's a camera on me, and then I drop the baby to smile so that I can be cute in the photo without a baby. It's a time. It speaks to us. It's our relationship in a 4 image shot. Yeah. But my sweet Katie and I have been friends literally since she was born. And I will do anything for my Katie. We couldn't be more different. She's country as cornbread. Well, so am I. But she's an amazing stained glass artist. What? I mean, I don't I don't even remotely like I wouldn't even know how to start. She's just this awesome, chill, easy breezy, the opposite of me. She's the opposite. She's the opposite. Goes with the flow. But God gave me her at a young age, and I would trade none of it ever. We could not talk for 3 weeks. We could not talk for 6 years. Not that that's ever happened, but it's as if no time passed. I'm grateful for every ounce of her. There's those people that you go, thank you, God, for somebody like that will do anything for each other. And at the same time, I've known her entire life. And then you've got my best friend, Sabrina Soto, who God's only given me her 10 years, which Sabrina has world's worst memory. And she always jokes that we've been friends a year because she's like, how long have we been friends now? I'm like, your daughter's 8. We've been friends for a decade. Like, what? She goes, are you sure? I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But I wouldn't trade her for all the tea in China. I mean, look at Leanne. I've known y'all for 15 years. I blinked and that happened. I blinked and that happened. And you think I wouldn't trade them for anything in the world. You could call me at 3 a.m. and I always say, what do I need to bring? Wine or a body bag and a shovel. Either way, I'm the phone call. I am the emergency contact. I'm tickled to be that person.
You are that person. That's why this week when I shared that clip from, what's the name of that movie? Our Town or The Town? Or
with Jeremy
Ben Affleck
Renner,
Jeremy Renner. and Ben Affleck's character goes to Jeremy Renner's character and says, I need your help. Can't tell you why. You can't ask me about it later, but we're going to hurt some people. And Jeremy Renner goes, whose car are we taking?
Whose car are we taking? That's Trish, sir. In a nutshell, right. that be me. I've always been that person because if the good people in my life ever say, you can't ask, you just need to, I'm like, okay. Because you're at my frequency. You're at my level. You're not somebody that would ever call on me unless it was a situation I need to be called on in that regard. Let's go. Wheels up. That falls into the ride or die.
Yeah, it is. That's a ride or die category.
That's a ride or die. You don't have to ask.
Yeah, Trish is like, don't go to Walmart and buy bleach. Don't.
Honey, I watch way too much Dateline and I was raised in a funeral home. Okay. Don't be doing none of that. Don't be doing none of that.
But, and of course, Christy, and she's designer and, we cheer each other on constantly. I mean, she's right now setting containers to build containers. I know. It's so exciting.
Christy Homer, if you are in Chattanooga and you've driven down any major street in Chattanooga, most of the rehabilitation to that city has been done by Christy because she's amazing. And I always say she's redesigning Chattanooga one gorgeous, renovation at a time. But her latest and greatest project is a container home. Well, she's starting with one, right? And it's going to be a development.
Well, she's doing one right now, but on these lots together, she's doing the hardest one first, and it's going to have an elevator. And, it's crazy. And then she's doing 2 others beside those. Then she has other property where she's going to do a bunch of them. So it's so exciting.
Christy's mind is fascinating. It's fascinating. She's one of my first of all, favorite people, but favorite designers and favorite friends. And my goal in life is to get her a renovation show on television because I want all of America. I want to be part of the merch because Christy says one thing, it's 2 words, and she can say it 63 different ways. And I love her for it because you don't know, it can be used as a noun, an adjective, an adverb. She can use it as a verb. She can use it in excitement, in sadness, in exclamation. I'm telling you, she's one of the most talented human beings, but she says 2 words when I'm going to let Karen say it because it's so funny. Any which way she puts it together, it makes me cry laughing. And I think it's brilliant. But she's one of the most talented designers, contractors. Her mind is fascinating. And that's a woman that I support 1,000,000,000,000,000%, that I want only great things for. But she'll say it, Kay.
Oh, hell.
Oh, hell. She'll say it like, oh, hell.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Hell.
Oh, hell. I mean, it
Oh,
kills me.
hell.
And I said, I just want a bunch of merch that's just black shirts, white font, white shirts, black font that just say, oh,
Oh,
hell,
hell.
with every way you can put the punctuation. It's $1 billion idea. Don't nobody steal it from me.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, hell. And
Yeah.
I will watch that show. Her show needs to be called Oh, Hell.
Oh, hell.
Because she'll do these projects that are just, you don't understand how it's going to happen. And she makes it happen.
And
Another
she
woman.
became a general contractor this year. So now,
And she did that because she's just so sick of having to call somebody. I mean, this is what I love about Christy. She'd be like, well, hell, I'm going to get my welding license. Why? Because I'm sick of having to call somebody. I'm just going to do it myself. I'm like, you're a bad mamma jamma. Who does that? Christy Homer. Brilliant.
well, and she went and got her welding, took a welding class because there's going to be so much welding on these container homes. She wants to make sure she understands what's going on, and that's so important, to understand all the jobs.
But do you know how many people don't want to take the time? That's why I find anybody, and then I'm going to get back to other women.
Yeah,
we're supporting all the women in our lives because we love them so much. When you're that kind of a mind, and I salute that kind of brilliance, and so here it is, all the flowers for this. Christy's the kind of mind as a designer that she doesn't just want to think it and go, I want someone else to create it. She wants to create it and know exactly how when someone goes and asks her, just short of an architect. Next thing you know, she's going to get her dang architectural degree. I'm sure she'll do that next because that's the way she rolls. But she's one of those people that wants to be able to understand and better support her own team because she is as knowledgeable or at the level and constantly learning. That to me is a bad ass.
It's all true. I know she would appreciate you saying that, but because she adores you. And my point was that we cheer each other on. We're in totally different businesses, but in terms of a friend's supporting and lifting up and cheering on and believing, even no matter what level you're at, believing you can get to the next level.
Yes.
Because we get kicked in the teeth so many times that you have to have people who genuinely believe that you can do it.
Yes, they help support your hope. I always say when there's somebody that, that's why I think Obama was so loved at the moment he was so loved, was he really spoke to hope.
Right.
Not that he wasn't qualified. I'm just speaking to the sheer fact that he was so eloquent at speaking about specifically hope. And there's nothing America loves more than a comeback. As Americans, there's nothing we love more than a comeback. We love a dang comeback story. Give me 10 off the top of my head. I could do it. The miracle, go ahead, Field of Dreams. But we love a dang comeback. So there's something to be said about hope in a friendship, because anybody that supports and advocates that in you, man, they're just indispensable and genuinely means it. Someone that really has true hope and faith in you. That's how mega corporations are built, off the hope and faith of talent.
And even in marriages, a lot of times that's where the saying comes from: behind every good man's a good woman. I mean, a lot of these men that have risen to CEOs or whatever have had someone behind them.
Oh, I mean, you have to realize, and I think too now, I say to Jace all the time, I'm so grateful for him and his support. And he says, yesterday just said to me, he was, thank you for always being my cheerleader, for just pushing me a little bit more. We were out on a walk because he goes back on tour in the fall, and this video popped up in my reels, and it was Mick Jagger literally wind sprinting on stage, and he's 80. Mick Jagger's on tour right now at 80 years old, and y'all, he was literally sprinting on stage. And I looked at Jace and I said, you are not even close to 80. We've got to get your act together. You're on 2-a-days. No more Talenti ice cream at night. Like, we are getting you in sprinting mode. But we started laughing. I thought, he said, thank you. Thank you for cheering me on. It wasn't, you're a mess, get your act together. I'm like, well, you're not a mess. But there could have been 100 ways to say it. And I think when we've all done time where we haven't had supportive people, you're even more excited when someone shows up in a real place of support for you. no matter what it is, at your work, in your health, in your mental health, in your physical well-being, all of it, to have somebody really support you, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, no substitute.
And a female friend that means it.
You know, I can tie everything. You can give me any topic, and I can tie it to an episode of Friends.
I love you.
I'm that kind of a freak. But just you saying that makes me think of when Ross was getting married to Emily, and Rachel was so upset, sad, not upset, but
Uh-huh.
sad. And he said, "You going to be okay?" When he was leaving, and she said, "Yeah, I got my girls." And they always represented that, I think,
Yes.
because
And
there's
I think
never
they do in real
competition.
life. They
Yeah,
do in real life
real
too,
life. Yeah,
which tells you like what an experience they had together, I think, at the time. And we know so many TV shows and all the things through the years that we've heard where people were pitted against each other and all that. They seemed to be this nice, lovely capsule of friendship. And we all look to them in real life because they have that relationship
yeah.
of what it looks like, to support each other and not think someone's going to steal your thunder and, change your world because they're succeeding. And I think that that's what it's about. And I love that you just said that because I loved that episode. It was such a good episode.
And they all got in wedding dresses and drinks.
Yes. Oh, so good. Gosh, I love Friends. I
I do
love
too.
Friends. I found this. There's a phenomenal. Sorry if my table just shook. Sorry, Corey. What did? Dude, my dog just got up under the table and shook the whole thing. Sorry. Here we go. This phenomenal coach, as she is I'm going to put it back up because I just looked her up and I thought she was fantastic. Danielle Bayard Jackson. She's on Instagram. We will link her in the show notes so you can see her. But she is an author fighting for friendships. She's all about female friendships and friendship coach and an educator. And she's done all the things. We need to have her on because I enjoy her. She has a podcast called Friend Forward. But she really talks about what it means to fight for our friendships as women because we were so, we're always kind of put against each other in some way, shape, or form. And she had the 3 affinities of a female friendship on her stories, which I thought was really interesting. And I'm going to pull that up right now because she said the 3 affinities of female friendship are symmetry, support, and secrecy. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Well, symmetry, that means reciprocity, y'all give and take to each other, egalitarianism or feelings of sameness, right? You're just egalitarianism. I said eagle. Sorry, y'all. I haven't had enough coffee. Feelings of sameness so that y'all are on the same page, but we were just saying energy, but of the same vibe, right? Of the same frequency. Support, that's emotional help. Acts of solidarity that show that I'm for you, I'm with you. And then secrecy being the exclusivity of that friendship, and then self-disclosure and trust. So I want to break that down, Kay. And do you feel like that for you is what you hold true or what you value now, I should say, in your friendships?
Pose that question again. You don't have to go through the whole thing again.
Yeah. But meaning like now, I'm going to say it like this. I think as I'm getting more experience in life, I am much less tolerant of what I make room for in my friendship. So the symmetry, the support, and the secrecy, when I look at someone that I'm letting in, like really letting in my life, do those things come into play? Like what comes into play for you when you're like, I'm going to make room for this new friend? Because we never know how people are going to show up, right? But what is the kind of the things for you that you're like, okay, I can see why this person.
Well, if I don't feel connected, if I don't feel that we have similar values, similar energy, if someone feels like an energy suck, out. No, I have no room for that.
So it is symmetry, that feeling of sameness.
Yes, it is. And I have such a core of wonderful friends, such a circle of wonderful friends that I'm certainly not desperate for another one. But I want to be open to new friends coming in. But if anyone's bringing with them something that's
heavy lifting, drama.
Yeah, I don't want any drama.
Chaos.
No chaos, no drama. No, I don't want to unpack anybody's baggage.
We got enough of our own over
Yeah.
here.
So
I agree with that. And then support, is that important to you as well? Like someone that acts of solidarity, someone that is emotional help, I would say. Like if that's something that's a prong of keeping somebody a close friend.
to have emotional support, yes, I think so. I mean, to me, part of emotional support is knowing when I don't need support.
That's right.
There's times because I'm somebody that I don't just talk things to death.
No.
you know and if sometimes the best way that I want to handle things is to not talk about it and to go inward and to really try to connect and see for myself what I think needs to be done. If somebody's just going blah 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 and tell me what I need to do, that's out. I don't want that.
I think you and I get along so well too because I was raised by an Aries mama. I'm married to an Aries. And so Aries in general are very introspective people. Like they need processing time.
Yes.
Where I'm a Capricorn and we're over here like a damn slot machine. We're like, pull the lever. Like we move like this. And so I'm like, I have learned to give that level of respect to all my friends, obviously all the people in my life that I love. But when you realize you are a processor, and I will always just say, hey, love you, thinking about you, and leave you for if you need anything. I'm here because I know that that's not going to serve you to be up your nose holes.
That's right. That's right. And you can't expect someone else to react or process or do anything the way you do it.
That's right.
You have to support how they do it. And that's what a good friend does, I think, is let you be you and just know that you're there.
That, let me say, and I also say too, this is just bringing it back one more time full circle. Leanne has the same birthday as my very best friend, Katie. So I have been trained by Katie because Leanne is actually very much like Katie. They move very similar. Their mom is first. They definitely are in this place like naturally funny. Katie's one of the naturally funny human beings I've ever known in my life. And there's some people that you have to give them a second, and then when they need to just get everything out, and then they're good. And then they're good and they're not going to talk about it again. And then they'll hem and haw or something. And I'm like, oh my God. So even being friends with certain people, you learn how that nurtures that relationship down the road because I've already been in training.
That's right. And if you want to stay friends with someone, you do learn how they process things, how they move through life, and you give them room for that. Leanne will sometimes she'll call me at like 9:01 or let me say this, 8:59. She'll call me at 8:59 and go, I know you don't like talk before 9:00, but I couldn't wait. I had to tell you something.
We know Kay's hard and fast rule is 9 a.m. Also, my husband's as well. Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny?
Jace is a hard and fast 9 a.m. And then I remind him sometimes that people are on the East Coast and we're in California and you have to give a little grace because it's noon there. And he's like, fair enough, babe. So he's dialed it back to like 8:15. Yeah. I'm like, just give people grace. Isn't that funny? Y'all have the exact, I never thought about that till you just said it. Because I know I don't call Kay till after 9. Like that's
well, and you're a morning person.
Annoyingly so, yes.
Yes, and I know that if I text you at 9:30 my time, you're up. Where I wouldn't do that to most people. But I can hit you with a text because you're a morning person and you're in a lovely frame of mind when you wake up.
I am. Jace was like, people used to think I was a morning person, and then I married you, and people were like, oh my God. He's like, I am not even close to a morning person. I would literally wake up and I'm like, good morning. I think I've said it before. I used to wake up and go, today's today. And my mom was like, oh God, here she comes. Like I've always been that way.
You remind me of Zoe in the morning, honestly.
I'll take that.
Yes. Oh yeah, you should. You should. That's a definite compliment. That's my Chihuahua. And when she opens her eyes, her tail starts wagging and she is the happiest little thing. And she's just a ray of sunshine.
I'll take Karen. That's probably the nicest compliment anyone's ever given me.
Yes, if I compare someone to my dog, that is a compliment.
Exactly right. I will take it and then some. I know what that means. My doodle is up under this table trying to, we might get if y'all are watching this instead of listening, you might see his head pop up and he's shaking. Dude, we're almost done. Sorry. So yeah, I would also say to all those that the support, the symmetry, and the secrecy, the 3 affinities of female friendship are very real to me as well. I look at that and go, yeah, that's me, 100%. I look at those 3 things, and I'm very protective of new friends that I let in. Not that I don't want new friendships. I think new friendships are great, but I realize I only have so much energy.
That's right.
Dude,
no better friend than that, I can tell you.
If you're watching, y'all, my doodle just decided when I said friend, because you're my very buddy, he popped up and is giving me a hug. Not awkward at all, dude. Mom's working. He's probably ready for his WALK. Had to spell it.
And I always have room for more dog friends. I can tell you that.
Let me tell you right now, I'm with Karen. If there is one kind of friendship that there's never not enough of, it's new dog friends.
Oh, yeah.
We just met a dog in our neighborhood yesterday. Her name's Coda. She's a mini doodle. She's precious. And I know there's a million people out there just like Karen and I. I know that dog's name. Her name's Coda. She's 2. I know where she came from. She's funny as all get out. She was a rescue, beat, bop, boot. Could not tell you her owner's name if you paid me $1 million right now.
Could not. And I've moved recently, and now I've been there almost 3 weeks. And people walk by, and the people have had to introduce themselves over and over. And I'm like, Olive, there's Cody.
Yep. I'll know the dog, no, 200%. But we've lived in our house over a year now. We have a dog named Curious George that comes back at the back fence. We've had lengthy conversations with Curious George's parents. I have no idea their names.
No,
I have
none.
No clue, but Curious George, we enjoy him. And I'm going, oh my gosh, this is who we are as a people. I love an animal so much. But dog friends, there's always room for more all animal friends. I'm not relegating that. If you have a potbelly pig, y'all, oh my gosh, on an episode of the new show that I'm on, it's out. Listen, y'all, it comes out June 15th. We will talk about it. Find My Country House. I did an episode with this sweet man who's an art director in LA, picked up and moved to Santa Fe. He rescues dogs, everything. He has a pet pot-bellied pig named Ira. Ira's 250 pounds of nothing but love. She is an indoor pig. Y'all, I will tell you right now, thank God that I don't know that I could have a 250 pound pig in my house, but he loves her something fierce, and she has her a playpen at the house. We finally found him. This episode's so good. I can't wait for y'all to watch the show. But everybody was so concerned on their fur children, and all pet parents on Find My Country House. I love how much people love their animals that are buying homes.
I'd wallow Ira in a minute.
I tried to. It was feeding time. I did do an Insta story. I think I'll end up putting it up again later. It was snowing when we happened to be in Santa Fe at the time. And a homegirl did not like that snow. She's an LA pig. She's an LA pig. And they had to get her a blanket that they kind of tie around her like they do baby elephants, because she doesn't fit in a vest. And he's like, I'm going to get a custom vest made for Ira, because she was not having it. He had her a heating pad on a warming bed. This pig looked better than most humans. I'm not going to lie. But anywho, Ira wasn't having it. And she looked at me, and she just scooped to the back of my stories and was like, snow. Just kind of goes across the back of the frame. And I was like, this is amazing. But yes, sorry, that's what I love doing this show, is how much everybody was about their animals. And it made me really excited that I was like, y'all love your babies like we love our babies. So June 15th, Find My Country House, Hulu, A&E, FYI, all the places.
I can't wait to watch.
Thank you, Kate. Oh, Karen, before we get off, because you're one of my favorite friends, we have to tell people that we are doing a show and the tickets are out. The show will be linked in the show notes. We will put it all over our socials. But Karen and I are doing a show in July that I'm very excited, because A, I haven't played this venue. B, we haven't done a show together in 2 years.
No.
4 years. What year is this?
Has it been? Yeah. No, not since the pandemic, I don't think.
And 4, that is not okay. Well, this will be a time. We're doing Pride in the Vines. It is at Teneral Cellars venue right outside Sacramento. So I've never been there. We're very excited. It's a big pride celebration all weekend. I love Jill O'Sur, who I can't wait for you to meet. Jill is the owner of Ten Cellars. She is amazing. She's not a vintner, I guess. I don't know. I've got to learn wine terminology. Anyway, she owns the winery, but I don't know if she's a winemaker or a vintner or if that's the same thing.
Well, and I've been to California many, many times, but I've never been anywhere in wine country. So I'm really excited to. I've never been to a vineyard at all.
Oh, well, this is even going to be doubly exciting. So we're going to have a ball. That is July 13th, if I'm not mistaken, right, Kim?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But it will be in the show notes. The whole weekend event is going to be on there. So if you guys can come to our show, we would be so excited. We're co-headlining, so you get equal amounts of Karen and I and lots of great wine and food and fun. And I'm so tickled. What a time we shall have.
Yes, we will. I can't wait.
It's going to be so much fun. If y'all have enjoyed this episode, go ahead and rate, subscribe. I got it right. Follow, give us a review,
like
share it. All the ways. Give us a squeeze. We're on Instagram at What I Know So Far Pod. Karen is Karen Mills Comedy on Instagram. Yes. And on Facebook, you are
Karen Mills Comedian.
See, hi.
She's a pain in my butt.
Pain in her butt. I'm at Trish Sir on all the things. TrishSUHR. Follow us. We'd love to hear from y'all. We think you're the greatest. We're so grateful. We're also on Apple Podcasts. So wherever you listen, be it Spotify, whatever, we would love for you to go on and rate and review us. It would really mean the world. So we can start bringing you more and more episodes. And the guests are coming. We keep threatening, but they're coming. So we're home.
They really are. They're coming soon. Our schedule has just been so crazy that we haven't been able to coordinate, but coming soon, some great guests.
And they're also on YouTube, y'all. So if you want to start enjoying these and watching them visually, they're on YouTube. So you can put them on in the background. Maybe if you're folding laundry or we'd be thrilled. Maybe you've got us on while you're going to bed at night. We'd be thrilled. But when the guests start coming on, you're really going to want to watch them because that's going to be a whole nother thing.
Yes, it is. And when you're walking your dogs with your AirPods.
That's when I listen.
That's when I listen. Yes, that's when I listen.
Oh yeah, well we'll have to also do the podcast we're listening to right now because I do listen to us just to make sure the cheese doesn't slide off the cracker. I mean,
and I depend on you to.
And I tell Karen's like, I didn't listen. I'm like, oh girl,
I'm like I can't listen. I'll hate it.
Oh, I know. It used to be I couldn't stand the sound of my voice. Now I'm already, I'm over it. I've dealt with it. It's what I sound like. Oh, and Corey, our amazing producer. Thank you, Corey Fry. Hengst. I love you so much. And we are trending on Good Pods, which is a very sweet thing. Thank you, Good Pods, for even letting people know we exist. We're super, super grateful. And we hope we see y'all again real soon. What I know so far is we sure love y'all.
And we love female friendships.
We sure do. See you soon, Kate.
Bye, honey.
Bye, babe.